All right, hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Senate Committee on Growth and Infrastructure. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Senator Hammond?
Here.
Senator Hansen?
Here.
Senator Pizzina?
Present.
Senator Spearman? Chair Harris?
Here, thank you. We have all members present. Just a quick work session on our schedule today. For those who are currently panicking, don't worry, we will be having a meeting on Friday, our first Friday meeting of the session, but we want to make sure that we get all the bills processed that we need to get processed and that we do so in a correct manner. We're going to make sure we fix the Assembly's bills properly before we push them out. With that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Rosser to walk us through our work session, starting with AB 57.
Thank you, Chair Harris. For the record, Kristen Rossiter, Committee Policy Analyst and Nonpartisan Staff of the Legislative Council Bureau. As such, we do not advocate on behalf of or in opposition to any proposed legislation today. The work session document is available on Nellis, as are additional exhibits related to the work session. The first bill is Assembly Bill 57, which was sponsored by the Assembly Committee on Growth and Infrastructure on behalf of the Department of Motor Vehicles and was heard by this committee on April 26th. Assembly Bill 57 provides that if a person who has a statutory lien on a certain property, including a motor vehicle, motorcycle, motor equipment, trailer, mobile home, or manufactured home, is unable to sell the property at a public auction at fair market value, the person may satisfy the lien by selling the vehicle by private sale directly to a third-party purchaser in an arm's-length transaction. The bill also revises provisions governing public auctions held to satisfy such a lien. The bill revises the date by which the Department of Motor Vehicles is required to submit its annual report concerning garages, garage operators, and body shops. Lastly, the bill repeals the authority for the issuance of a special license plate to an honorary consul of a foreign country, thereby terminating the production and distribution of such plates. There is an amendment for the bill, which was submitted after the bill hearing by the Nevada Trucking Association, and a copy is attached. In summary, the amendment authorizes tow operators and automobile wreckers to request an unbranded title to be issued in the case of certain abandoned vehicles, and requires the department to issue the title if certain requirements are met. The amendment also revises provisions related to the sale of a vehicle at public auction to satisfy a lien, and authorizes an automobile wrecker to sell a vehicle which possesses minor damage and is not due to be salvaged. Thank you, Chair Harris.
Thank you. Committee members, are there any questions on AB 57? Not seeing any, I'll accept a motion. We've gotten a motion to amend and do pass from Senator Pizzina. Is there a second? Second from Vice Chair Spearman. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. All right, motion passes unanimously. I will assign the floor statement to Senator Pizzina. Ms. Rossiter, when you're ready.
Thank you, Chair Harris. The next bill is Assembly Bill 359, which was sponsored by Assembly members Monroe Moreno, Watts, Thomas, and C.H. Miller, and was heard by this committee on May 8th. Assembly Bill 359 authorizes the continued imposition of certain annual increases in taxes on certain motor vehicle fuels and special fuels used in motor vehicles in a county whose population is 700,000 or more, if the Board of County Commissioners on or before December 31st, 2026 adopts an ordinance authorizing the effectuation of such annual increases. If the Board of County Commissioners does not adopt such an ordinance on or before December 31st, 2026, the board is prohibited from imposing any additional annual increases in those taxes. There are no amendments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Committee members, questions on AB 359? Okay, not seeing any, I'll accept a motion. Okay, we've got a motion to do pass from Senator Hammond. Is there a second? Second from Senator Pizzina. Any discussion on the motion? Senator Hansen.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I went and reviewed the actual ballot question. I understand completely the rationale behind the bill and why it's much easier to do it the way the bill will allow. However, the ballot question was really clear. I mean, it said this was supposed to be through December 31st, 2026. It passed overwhelmingly, 56%, 43%. But in several spots in the ballot question and the explanation, it was supposed to go back to a vote of the people before this tax was to be continued. So even though it had nothing to do with Clark, don't have dog in this fight. I do think it's very important that we honor the intent of the voters when they pass this. The explanation is very clear. This was supposed to go back to the voters before you had a full imposition again. So I am going to have to vote against this on that basis. Thank you.
All right, members, any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay. Okay, the motion passes with one nay from Senator Hansen, and I will take this floor statement. Ms. Rossiter, AB 407, please.
Thank you, Chair Harris. Assembly Bill 407 is sponsored by Assemblyman Carter and was heard by this committee on May 15th. It prohibits the Director of the Department of Motor Vehicles from releasing any personal information for any purpose relating to the enforcement of immigration laws unless the subject of the information provides written consent or the Director receives an order, subpoena, or warrant issued by a court. When responding to such an order, subpoena, or warrant, the Director must not release personal information beyond what is specifically required in order to comply. There are no amendments. Thank you.
Committee members, do we have any questions on AB 407? Okay, not seeing any, I'll accept a motion. Motion to do pass from Senator Pazina, second from Senator Spearman. Any discussion on the motion? Senator Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think it's, I voted against the bill back in 2013 that created this program. I think it's wrong for us, as a legislative body, to discourage a government agency to participate in enforcement of law. And I think that the evidences still haven't been presented that the intent of the bill was to make sure we had less people driving on our roads that were uninsured. And I still haven't received that information, so I don't think the bill's original intent, you could say that it has worked. We should be cooperating with immigration authorities, federal, state, or otherwise. And so I'm going to definitely say no to this bill. I think this is a mistake, and we should absolutely honor the federal laws, and if we don't like them, then we should make aggressive efforts to change them. But in the meantime, we as a legislative body should not be telling a government agency not to cooperate in the enforcement of law. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Hansen. I will just note for the record that this bill will require the DMV to comply when law enforcement comes with a court order or a warrant. And I know that you and I have had many conversations about this, that you wouldn't want any of your personal information given to anybody without that warrant, and I don't see why we can't afford that same courtesy here.
Now, I would agree, Madam Chair, with that to the point that would be true for legal immigrants and citizens. For people that are intentionally in the country illegally, then I would not agree with that.
Any other discussion? Committee members? Okay. Believe we have a motion already on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Okay, we've got nays from Senator Hammond and Senator Hansen. Motion passes. I'll assign the floor statement to Senator Spearman. All right, Ms. Rossiter.
Thank you, Chair Harris. The last bill on the work session today is Assembly Bill 426, which was sponsored by the Assembly Committee on Growth and Infrastructure and was heard by this committee on May 8th. Assembly Bill 426 exempts advertising for special events from certain restrictions on placement of commercial advertising on or over a highway. The bill allows for such an exemption only if certain conditions are met, including prior authorization, the execution of a written agreement, that the advertising will not constitute a hazard or prevent the safe use of the highway, and that the advertising will not be placed or maintained for more than 14 consecutive days. There are no amendments.
Committee members, questions on AB 426? Okay, not seeing any, I'll accept a motion to do pass. Okay, we've got a motion from Senator Pazina. I'll give the second to Senator Hansen, if you don't mind, Senator Spearman. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries unanimously, and I will give that floor statement to Senator Hansen. You're welcome, sir. With that, we will go ahead and close out the work session and open it up for public comment. Nice and snappy today. I know y'all aren't used to that. I'm kidding, we're always fast. Okay. No public comment here in Carson. Doesn't look like there's anyone in Las Vegas. BPS, can you please check the phones for any public comment, please?
Chair, the public lines are open and working, but there are no callers at this time.
All right, we'll go ahead and close out public comment then. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned. But before I gavel, committee members, be on the lookout. We will have a meeting on Friday. It may not be at 3:30. We'll try and get it done earlier if possible. So just please keep your eyes and ears open. We may try and gather you all a bit sooner to finish out the committee's business before the deadline. All right. Have a great day, everybody.